end of the day, but not yet, of course. Now we have a very special performance for you. We have two experts with us, experts in management and the arts, and they both will show us the connection between leadership and choreography, between leadership and dance, between human relations and dynamic movements. And I have to say, I was really looking forward to their performance, because Leah and me, we met the two of them at a conference in France in spring, and their performance was really a highlight for both of us. We were speaking and they were performing, and then we thought we need to have the two of them at the Ada Lovelace Festival in Berlin. And so today they are here, John Michael Shirt and Brett Perry. They are both professionally trained dancers, and they will enlighten and enrich our understanding of what it truly means to engage with a presence, and what it means to improvise and still stay very connected. Their performance is titled Moving Through Uncertainty. Please welcome John Michael Shirt and Brett Perry.
Hello. I think like most of you, we've spent the day sort of trying to understand, how do we process all this complex information? How do we move into this uncertain future that we're discussing? How do we reconcile some of our differences of how we do that? Is it a democratic approach? Is it a decentralized approach? Will technology solve the day, or do we have to return to humanity? So to make sense of this for the next little bit of time, I think the question I'm asking myself and asking the room is, how do we embody this information? As Monica, who spoke a moment ago, how do we make this again about the human experience of creativity? How do we make this not just about what's possible with technology and what we can do, but how do we understand what is the art making in this? So I want to ask the room, all of you back. I'm going to reinforce what Leah was asking earlier. Please come back. Come back into this shared space. Because like the internet, we're all in this together. How do we create a community in this moment right now? So to do that, I'm going to ask my husband, Brett Perry, to come join me. And as was mentioned, Brett is a dancer. I used to be a dancer, and now I just talk at people for a living. So we're going to make something right now. It will be a piece of choreography. This was not pre-made. This is an exploration. It's going to be a relationship between the two of us, but it's very much a relationship with everyone in this room. And I want to try and embody and discuss these topics that have been occurring today. So as you're going through this experience with us right now, be thinking about everything that's in your prefrontal cortex, everything that's in your brain that you've been processing, and see how you can put it into your body. You will not be dancing. We are not going to make any of you dance. But we know through mirror neurons that if we do our job well, you will be feeling this in your body. But just for a quick second, because you've been sitting, everyone just stand up, stretch, just take a moment. I want the room to just sort of, just take a moment, breathe. If you're in the back, I welcome you to come forward. If you are talking, I will make Brett come up to you. So you are warned. Okay, thank you, and you can sit back down. So, Brett, let's begin. Hi, Brett. Can you start over there in front of that screen? You might have to turn in your chair. It will be a little interactive, but you will not dance, I promise. All right, Brett. Can you start? Have your back to us and sort of just reach up with your hand and try and reach the words Ada Lovelace kind of one at a time, touch each letter or gesture towards it. Yeah, beautiful. As you move, that's great. There's sort of like a yearning, a releve, and then a come down. When you get to the end of the first word, so you trace eta, kind of collapse. Maybe to the ground, maybe just your knee buckles. Yeah, beautiful. And then come back at it again and start the next word. Maybe you want to switch up your hand or your arm. So what is this sort of beautiful? What is this sort of dichotomy you have of yearning and reaching, and then your leg gives out? Or maybe even play with something repulses you. Maybe it's hot. Yeah, great. Okay, keep sort of playing with that. I want to talk about authority. In this moment right now, I might be considered the authority. This is not the dynamic we have in our marriage. I don't tell him what to do, but we are playing roles right now. I am the authority, maybe you think because I have the microphone. Maybe you think he's less of authority because he's not using his voice. Well, the trick's on you. 93% of communication is nonverbal. Body language, facial expressions are actually the dominant way we understand each other. So keep in mind that I might be the authority because Leah and Miriam have authorized Brett and I to be here, to speak with you, at you, together. We have this chunk of time, and that's what we have to do. But it is Brett who is authorizing me. And I'll go further to say it's actually all of you in this room who are authorizing Brett and I. Because your authorization allows us to be here and hold this room. I want to translate that to Web 3. I'll leave that thought for a moment, but I want to translate that as we move. Thank you, Brett. So as you get repulsed, maybe can you fall sort of to your right in front of all the sponsors? They're all right there. And now sort of like starfish or just grow in front of them, but this time have your back. Oh, no, that was nice. I like that. Your back. And then can you flip it somehow? Like Otis. Maybe some of you saw our dog this morning. We had our dog here for a moment. He does this cute thing where he gets in his bag and then he rotates on his butt and he flips over. Can you kind of Otis this moment? So space hold your butt and somehow flip your body around your butt. Great, beautiful, okay. All right, after you do that space hold, butt hold, yeah, great. Now I want you to make your way this way and down that aisle. The movement, let's play with something along the lines of just be walking and then slowly morph into another character. Maybe it's sort of like a runway model. Maybe then you sort of go into something much more thug, like DL. Great. Then kind of go feral, kind of like go into a creature. And then what if you crawled for a moment? And then what if you came back up and acted like nothing has happened and you just pedestrian walk your way up to the stage? Great. So what was that sort of model, part drag queen, DL boy, creature, feral, yeah. And you could probably play with them. They don't have to be the same. Okay. So what are we doing right now? We're making a piece. That's interesting. You're all watching. Oh, and this is, have you ever seen Dance Get Made? Anyone? I like to joke that unlike politics and sausage, it's kind of interesting. You like to see how the things go together. But what are we doing right now? We're exploring this relationship, this dynamic. Am I the creator? I'm having these ideas. But it's only as good as the embodiment of what Brett brings to life. I want to build off of some of what Monica was saying an hour ago. The human experience within this is what makes it actually alive. I could give him all the steps and all the tasks. What he does with it is the art making. So what is he doing right now? One thing I love about dancers is they're always striving to embody. This is what we call marking in the dance world. He's taking, the words went from my brain out my mouth, into Brett's ears, into his brain, and what he's doing right now is he's freeing up his working memory. He's getting it out of his head and into his body. We know that through embodied cognition, our body is smarter than our brain. We used to think it was brain sending signals to the body what to do. We now know that the body sends signals to the brain, that sometimes the body knows before the brain. Brett is a master of nonverbal communication. He's incredibly articulate and eloquent in the dominant form of human communication, which is 93% of how we communicate. A reminder to those in the back, if you keep talking, I will send Brett back to you, and then you will become part of the piece. Okay, should we try that with music? All right, track 8, please. Don't play it just yet, but track 8 is what we'll start with. So now what is this? I'm going to layer on music. Brett has no idea what song it's going to play. Think of this as like a market externality. We have this whole plan, and all of a sudden there's this new layer, and he's going to have to do everything we've worked out with an entirely new gestalt, a whole new feeling, a whole new thought pattern because of whatever the music says. All right, Brett, you ready? All right, track 8, please play.
Kisses are how I thrive.
Okay, great, thank you. Thanks. Okay, so some cues, some points. I think the starfish really matched with the music, and then the new refrain was when you started. I think make these characters even more exaggerated. These are avatars, right? Like you're going to become one and then really become the next one. And so I think commit, that can go more into your face and go more to these embodiments, right? And then now when you get up here, let's keep building. So you just got up. I want you to do bum 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 bum, sort of a passe, yeah. So what was that? You were sort of sixth position. Boom, 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 passe. Yeah, great. Can you then extend out with that and kind of like, can you go into a split? Can you like fully? I did tell him I wouldn't make him do splits earlier, but now I'm breaking our social contract. Great. And keep going. Bring that leg through. And kind of put your feet together in sixth position and lock your feet and roll up through. Yeah, great. Great. Ooh, beautiful. Okay, maybe that's part of the choreography now. No, I'm gonna always be there to help you. Okay. All right, so boom, I think the music is bum 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 bum. Ba, ba. Yeah, really nice and expansive. Nice. Okay. And then once you get here, I want you to kind of slowly sort of like coubier, développer, and then sort of like battu, and then rond de jambe around this, here, and then sort of do the same thing, battu, rond de jambe, and kind of move around these speakers. We're speaking French, sort of, bastardized French. Ballet, like technology, has its own language. You might be looking at us right now and think they're doing this like super rarefied thing. Yes, Brett graduated from Juilliard, I danced with American Ballet Theater, we have resumes, we have credentials, we know what we're doing. Compare this, though, to many of the topics of today. Compare this to your own expertise. What is it that you are highly specialized at? What is it that you are technically excellent at? We can sit here and make something technically brilliant, and what Brett's doing is technically brilliant in many respects. If there's dancers in the room, maybe you're critiquing his form, his technique. What we're getting at right now is not just beautiful, how we stack up all these technical steps. It's how we get to the edge of our collective competence, like the edge of this stage, and we're choosing to step past it into that adjacent possible. What is that creative choice making? It's not just all of these technical steps. It's that extra piece of humanity, of choice making, that propels it into something we've never seen before. So, let's do that with the music. Let's do track 8 one more time. Are you okay to try it again? Okay. So we'll tee up track 8. Now you, the audience, as I said before, you might not think you have any role in this, but you are our collaborators. What you do, say, think, feel right now is actually, it's a feedback loop that's affecting what we next do. I can see who's on their phone, I can see who's paying attention, I can see who's still talking. It's all part of this ecosystem that we're in together, right? So you are informing how this evolves. All right, track 8, let's go ahead. Thank you.
When I'm weary and so worn out, and my mind's clouded and filled with doubt, that's when I feel the most alive. Masochistic kisses are how I thrive.
Pick up the steps, yeah, right here. Bum, 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 bum. Great. Now wait for the new music.
A stiffness inside my neck and banging my head against the desk. Well, if there's no pain, it's
Great, yeah, use your hands if you have to. Great, cross. Can you fall off the stage and catch yourself?
that's when I feel
Great. Now stay there. I want you just to sort of look around, see who you can make eye contact with, see who's willing to make eye contact with you. Take a couple steps, keep moving, keep making eye contact. Keep the music playing, volume up. Okay, great. All right, pause. That's great, thanks. Taking a mic. What are you seeing right now? You can yell it out. Just what are you seeing, and maybe what are you feeling? Give us some words. Uncertainty? Well, good, because that's the title of the presentation. Yes, what else? Precision? Empathy? Say it again. Passion? Creativity? Evolution, expression? Okay. Are there any negative words? These are all quite positive. That's great. Fear? Who has fear? You, me, all of us? Stereotype? When I put them into characters? Yeah. Say it again.
I didn't like how you said
Thug? You didn't like that? Good. I welcome that dissent. What are we creating? Is it, also to quote Monica from before, of course, are we creating for you or with you? What parts of this don't resonate with you? They're just as valid. What are we doing right now in this space? Is it making the space feel more alive? Maybe for some of you, you're disengaging. Who here met Brett's eyes? Yeah, you? You? What happened when you met eyes? Connection? Empathy, yeah. You, sir, what happened? You felt seen? I think a lot of times we think leadership is the person that's up here telling the stories and having the direction and the vision. Leadership is actually, as we know, incredibly vulnerable. Part of leadership is learning to feel seen. And when you, in this moment, I would say Brett's exercising more leadership than me, because he's actually engaging in that moment with you, which is incredibly vulnerable for him and for you at the same time. So we're going to do it again. I have an ask of you. When Brett makes his way through here, if he makes eye contact with you, if you choose, I'd like for you just to stand. I'm not going to make you dance, I promise. But if he's someone that makes eye contact with you, if you choose to, this is with consent, stand for just a moment. And then Brett, they're still not listening. So I want you to keep going, and you're going to make your way to some of those people and go up and look them in the eye until they realize that they are part of this environment. All right, we're going to do it again from the top, but we're going to do track 3 this time. Brett has no idea what track 3 is. So now we're changing the entire context on him. So this is, again, the collaboration for all of you to listen and pay attention. What are the micro shifts that Brett's about to make? How is the room going to feel different? Maybe you'll love this new song. Maybe you'll miss the old song. It's all part of this area of exploration. All right, track 3. Let's start.
Tell me, say one thing, Nancy can't understand. One thing, Nancy can't understand. What make them a talk about me ambition? Say what make them a talk about me ambition? Come and say some of them a ask me where me get it from. Just some of them a ask me where me get it from. I told them no, no, it's from creation. I told them no, no, it's from creation. Bam, bam, hey yo, what a bam, 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 dilang, bam, 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 dilang, bam, bam, hey, what a bam, bam, ta what a bam, bam. This woman never trouble no one. I'm a lady, I'm not a man. MC is my ambition. I come free nice of Jamaican, so bam, bam. So bam bam, say what time bam bam, bam bam dilam, bam bam, bam bam dilam, bam bam bam. Say go sister,
All right. That's great. Thank you. So what happened? We had one brave soul who stood. It was with consent. You did not have to stand. But what happens when you were engaged? Did you feel your own pulse rise? Did you feel like this gentleman began to stand and said, I'm not sure if I should? Do I have permission? Was it agency? For who are we designing this? We're moving from Web 2 to Web 3, right? Everybody owns their own piece of this. But yet we still have these dynamics sometimes where we're not sure of the situation. Did I give permission? Did I, the supposed authority in this moment, make it clear enough? Is it hard, difficult to suddenly be a part of it? Yeah. These are all difficult questions to ask. How do we actually co-create something? What's my role in it? So Brett, how did that feel? How are you feeling? Feeling in your body? Okay. So this time, we're going to do it again, if that's all right. When you go off the stage, you don't have to take the center aisle. You can do, maybe let's do this aisle to give these people some love. The same prompt, if he comes upon you and he makes eye contact with you, it is your choice. But the task I'm setting is, how do we actually co-create this piece? I'm not going to send you to the back this time, but I would like, as you make your way, Brett, Monica, is it okay if Brett touches you? Okay. So Brett, as you make your way, eye contact, and you get to Monica. Monica, you're fine. You just stay there. We met her out front when we were getting our COVID test done, and we didn't know we were even speakers. And we sat there and just played with our dog for 20 minutes while we waited for our test. So we already had this connection. So I like that. You come to Monica, give her a hug. But maybe, Monica, you're seated. Wait for Brett to bring you to him, okay? And then we'll have a hug. Okay. It can be an invitation. Yeah, great. Okay, that was our rehearsal. All right, we're going to do it again, but we're going to do track 4 this time. So don't play it yet. What's happening? A new externality. The market is asking something different of Brett. It's all changing. Maybe you're mad at me right now for changing it on Brett. Maybe you feel bad for Brett because he has to now reconfigure. Are you okay to do it again with a new song? Okay. This time we're going to do track 4. I'll give you the cue. I ask of you all again, are your mirror neurons firing? Are you feeling some of the movements in your own body? Did some of you notice that after Brett did this pirouette, he was a little off and he had to readjust? What are you noticing? The technical things, they're valid. But what are you noticing in terms of how this piece is evolving? We're making a work of art right now. We could sell NFTs of it, maybe. I don't know. You're all part of this process. If we were creating this on Zoom for you all right now, it would be an entirely different piece. So ask yourself, in what way are you co-creating this? Maybe it's your turn to stand. Maybe it's just by the level of engagement you're showing with your face and your body. These are all options. All right, track 4. Here we go, Brett.
Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high.
Start with a new phrase.
If I had a day that I could give you, I'd give to you a day just like today. If I had a song that I could sing for you, I'd sing a song to make you feel this way. Sunshine on my shoulder.
All right, thank you.
Makes me happy.
It's palpable, right, when there's a shared human experience, like we feel it. Some of you might not agree with the song. Maybe that felt a little dramatic to you. Maybe that felt really emotional. Maybe those of you that chose to participate and stand, you did so with a feeling, and then you also were uncertain. A couple of you looked over at me to say, "Can I sit now?" One woman did sit back down. That was a choice. But these shared human experiences, I mean, that is the power of the connectivity we have, right, through our technologies, plural. And as we all know in this room, every human invention that has led to a new form of communication has connected us in a new way. It's also then brought all these new paradigms, the telegram, the telephone, the TV, the radio. Humans went through the same existential crises that we're going through now. How do we understand ourselves now when we can communicate, when we can process so much information, when it's so overwhelming all of the time? I don't have a solution or a panacea. Many of the speakers earlier today are much more informed than Brett and I about these topics, but I know something to be true. When we have these shared human experiences, that's what we exist to do. And it's undeniable when we have them. So, with that, we're going to have the world premiere of this piece. Like every world premiere, it has to have a title. So, Leo, what shall we call it? It's Going to Be. That's the name of it. The piece is called It's Going to Be. ... Yeah. But earlier today we talked about democratization of choice making versus decentralization versus co-creation. What would happen right now if I democratize this process? How many of you want to do the first song, Moses Somebody Cut Me? You can raise your hand. Yeah. How many of you want to do the second song, which was, yeah. And how many prefer the John Denver, a little sappier, yeah? Well, I'm still in charge here, so I get to choose. And with that, I think we'll stick with the John Denver just one more time, to give it one more shot. The world premiere of This Is Going to Be, starring Brett Perry. Thank you all for being here. Track 4.
Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high. If I had a day that I could give you, I'd give to you a day just like today. If I had a song that I could sing for you, I'd sing a song to make you feel this way. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine.
Now bring Monica up here with you, Brett. Bring Monica with you.
Looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always.
Thank you all for this shared experience. Thank you. Take a bow, Brett.
Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Brett Perry, John Michael Shirt, thank you so much for this wonderful performance. I actually really have to admit that, like the other day in France, it really gives me a lot to feel and to think, and I hope that was true for you too. A whole